Hi, everyone. I'm Kathleen,
I'm Nancy.
and we
We
are
are on the
needles.
Episode 18. We're
Jeez.
adults. We are adults.
We are. We can vote.
We can vote. Yeah. Yeah.
I can't believe it's 18. I mean, this has been like a COVID. We started it in COVID, and we just are making tracks. I mean, I'm at a loss for words. 18 seems like so many.
18 is fun. So at 20, we're going to have to toast.
Yeah, maybe we
I
can have
like
a
peanut
giveaway.
butter on my toast. So
Oh, my mom has this jam. I just have to mention this. It is apricot ginger.
oh,
And I think she got it at one of the specialty stores around here. Oh my God, you just want to put it on everything.
I am not an apricot fan.
Oh,
When I was
really?
growing up, my grandparents had an apricot tree in their front yard.
Yeah.
I just remembered stewed apricots or apricots,
Uh-huh.
tomato as a child. And I can't get past the skin texture. And then the inside
can
kind of
be
seems a
tough.
little mealy or something to me.
Yeah.
It's just not.
I love an apricot jam. Love it.
Yeah.
So, okay, I think on our 20th, we should have a giveaway.
Oh,
And we can figure out how to do that.
that would be fun.
But yeah, I think
we can pull from comments down below.
Yes.
Yeah. Speaking of giveaways, we're going to talk more about our giveaway for our knit along. Oh my gosh, it makes me want to enter. I can't win.
Wait, you guys,
You're going to be
really super special.
Yeah.
I showed it on our Instagram account on the Needles podcast on Instagram.
So what's new? It's been 2 weeks.
Nothing. I mean, it's still COVID. We mentioned before that we both are vaccinated, and we were talking about doing the podcast together, in the same location, but Nancy has been so busy with all of her fabulous orders. She's getting so popular that we decided to keep it on Zoom just to make it so neither show.
Hopefully in the next month.
Yeah.
We can, because I may need that break. So I may have to come to your house to podcast because
that would be great.
Otherwise sorry, I'm shaking. I've got this funky little setup here today. And so I have the computer on a box on a card table. So if I breathe too heavy, it's going to shake. So keep my hands on my lap. Yeah.
So, it just poured down rain here, like a massive, like a Florida style rainstorm for about 5 minutes. And then now it's sunny. So it is perfect spring weather here.
Spring in the Northwest. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
what about you? You've
gosh,
had some fun.
I've had an adventure since we podcasted last. Some of it good, some of it not so good. Last weekend I had a trunk show in Issaquah, Washington, which is just outside of Seattle. It's over there. It's hard to tell where one town or city ends and the other begins. But so I'm excited. I haven't had too many in-person trunk shows since COVID. First one on the other side of the mountains. First one at this store, which was the best trunk show I've ever had. Totally blown away. And thank you to everyone that came in that watched the podcast. It was just so nice to meet everybody. And some of the guys that we Zoom with on Thursday came in. And I think I got my first hug since COVID began, because both Bob and I are fully vaccinated. And so we got to do the hug.
Isn't that the best?
Rob and I did the elbow bump because Rob is not there yet, I don't think. And then I met some other people there that I'll talk about later. But so I got the car loaded up to the hills with a bunch of yarn, and I'm trucking along from Seattle to Issaquah. It's about a 4.5 hour drive. And you go down. So for those that don't live here in Washington, you're kind of up in the hills a bit, and then you go down to the river, the big Columbia River, you cross a bridge, and then you immediately start climbing back up. And then you eventually head up to the pass between here and Seattle. So I'm cruising along, going up the Vantage Hill, and I have my cruise control set at 72 because I'm a little bit of a rebel, but I don't want to get a ticket. So I kept it at 72. And I'm cruising along listening to a book on tape, and all of a sudden my car goes clunk. And my speedometer started dropping, and I thought, and I did say this, what the hell? Sorry, Mom.
Yeah.
And and then my RPMs went up, and then kind of like shifted back into gear. And I thought, oh my gosh, I think it's my transmission, just the way. And so it was creeping up the hill, and I get this knot in my stomach. I'm still 2 hours away from Issaquah. I have a car load of product, and I'm going to be dead on the side of the road. So I managed to get up the hill, and then I got to the top of the hill, and I've got an amazing mechanic. And I called him and I said, I know you can't diagnose over the phone, but I think my transmission is going. This is what it's doing. And he said, kind of sounds that way. He said, take it out of overdrive. He said, well, just drive it to this place here in town. And I said, well, I'm halfway between here and Seattle, so I'm not just going to drive it there. And so he said, well, when you're going uphill, if you see the RPMs going up, take it out of overdrive. And I said, okay. So I babied that thing. I was going up the mountain pass in the slow trucker lane, and the truckers are passing me. I mean, I'm just praying, oh my God, just get me there. Just get me there. I'll deal with it when I get there. So I made it to Issaquah, unloaded my car, set up for the trunk show. And then where I was staying is another maybe 40 minutes away. And so I know how to get where I'm staying, but not from Issaquah. I mean, I figured there's a couple different ways you can go. And so I just put it in my Waze, which is my GPS, to see which way it would take me. Well, it took me through all these back roads. And I'm thinking maybe because it was close to rush hour. So I'm going, and I'm barely moving. And it's just like, this thing is just going to explode. I'm on some back highway. I have no idea where I'm at because it's a way I've never been before. If I break down, I have AAA, but I don't know where to tell them where I'm at. So anyway,
geez.
I made it to where I'm staying. And I was mentally a wreck. And so on my way there, I thought, well, the only thing I can do is I can rent a car. So got to where I was staying, and the car rental place was already closed that night. So I did reserve one for the next morning, went down and picked it up. And I just happened to mention the car rental place was sharing an office with a bodybuilding shop, or not bodybuilding, car body.
Yeah.
And so I just mentioned, I said, do you guys do engines too, or do you just do body work? And they said, no. And they said, what's going on? And I told them, I said, anybody want to buy it? I'm done with it. I always said I would drive this car till it died. And I bought it off the showroom floor in 2007. It had 230,000 plus miles on it, but we'd always taken really good care of it. Always had work done when it was needed and stuff. And so I think it was the manager stuck his head out and he goes, what do you want? And how much do you want for it? And I told him, and he said, sold. I said, okay. So that paid for my car rental for the weekend. So all in all, long story short, it was a great show, but I am now carless. I don't have a car.
But you have cars at your house.
I have cars at my house. I am raising granddaughters, and I helped them both get cars last summer. So I'm in no hurry. First of all, I don't have time right now to go look at cars. I don't even know what I want. So I'm just doing the driving Miss Daisy thing, and it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
I do have some more trunk shows coming up that I'll talk about at some point. But I will need, for those trunk shows that I'm going to be there, I'm going to have to either have a car by then or rent a car. Maybe I'll lease a car. I just, I don't know. It's okay not having to make car insurance payments,
That's true.
For FibreFest. So I think the guy
Yeah.
got a good deal. The tires, I did 4 brand new tires on it. So
Oh, boy.
nothing else, he can, sell the tires.
Yeah.
So it's been a
Yeah.
hectic week, and now I'm back. I have 1,700 skeins of yarn that I'm in the process of dyeing up for 3 accounts right now. So I am just, I've got a nice sweater on the top, but I've got my dye clothes on the bottom because I just took a break and here I am. So yeah, so that was my 2 weeks.
Oh, man.
Crazy.
Well,
you
yeah.
just, life throws you these lemons and you just have to move on.
Put them into a lemon
So
drink.
So
lemon drop.
I will take pity sales though, because I do have to eventually get a car. So what are you wearing? You have something new.
I have my striped sweater on and I will show you guys. I love it. It is, so it's supposed to be cropped, but
I love the length.
It was about to here. And then when I blocked it, I kind of pulled it down because it was pretty wide. And I didn't want it that wide. So when I put it on the blocking boards, I pulled it down so it kind of got narrower. And then I shaped it a little bit. And I just am really happy with it. And it's so soft. It's that Woolfolk SNO.
Nice.
It's 100% some kind of fabulous merino that they have a trademark on. And it was pretty quick to knit. It's fingering weight. It's designed, I think, for a sport or maybe even a DK, but this is fingering weight. And so it's a little bit looser, the gauges. And it's just really super soft and light. Was that a kitty cat?
I was just trying to move things around, and I have everything jerry rigged. I think I told you
no
that.
problem.
I'm just
so it's just really light and airy and but still warmish, but it's not one of those heavy sweaters. So it's good for this time of year for sure.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm happy with it.
I really like that.
Thank you.
And I'm starting to like the yoked sweaters like that.
Yeah, I mean, I still have this issue, but I think that's just the way it is. You know? So I don't know. I like it. Cool. Just to let everyone know, I have my 2 dogs in the room with me. So if you hear any weirdness, it's probably, and if you see me looking around, that's probably why. So what about you?
The stink eye, given the dogs, the stink eye. So I have the Mountain Mist, and I'm sitting in front of the fireplace because my office is a disaster. So this is the Mountain Mist. Just I have not worn it. I made it last winter. I have not worn it yet because it's a little bit scratchy. I made it out of roan felted tweed.
Oh yeah, that can be a little bit.
It can be a little bit, yeah, and it's pretty warm. It's been really nice here, and then today was kind of overcast, like Kathleen said, and I thought, well, I'm okay with the sweater, but it'll be coming off after I podcast. I may try re-soaking it in some conditioner. Yeah. I'm not one to usually wear, to layer under my sweaters, but this might maybe a little, I don't know. I'm thinking a camisole may not be enough.
T-shirt, it wouldn't even show.
Wouldn't even show. Yeah. So, but so that's what I have on is the Mountain Mist, and that's by Tin Can Knits. So
they're so great. That's what Mimi's doing right now. My wife is going to cast that on tonight.
The Mountain Mist?
So, yeah, she did a gauge swatch for it last night.
It's a fun pattern. I did do one thing wrong, and I was noticing today, and it's not that I did wrong. I know better. But on the sleeves, when I started the rib, I should have either done a row of ribbing in the black and then switched to the cream color, or done a row of stockinette in the cream, because the stitches where the pearls are show.
Well,
but
then that's a good tip. So if you're changing colors to start your ribbing, do a row of just stockinette in the color you're changing to, and then those
You won't
those
get the-
purl bumps won't show through.
Yeah. So
Yeah, that's a good one.
So
A teaching moment, right?
there you go.
So
what did you get finished?
oh my gosh, I had quite, oh shoot, I forgot my hat. I'm gonna have to run out there and get it. So last time I showed this, that was just like so close to being finished, this Hitchhiker. And so I finished it. And I think it's been sitting unfinished in my basket for 6 months. And it took
Did
me
you use
probably
minis on that?
an hour to finish it. It's this Katia brand pack called Ombre. And they have blue, this is called reds, and they have blues and greens and maybe yellows. But yeah, I mean, I got it when we went to the Stitch and Pitch at in Seattle at the Mariners. So it's just, I did these eyelets in between the colors just to make the transition, because the colors aren't, I mean, it's not a fade by any means. It's, ombre ish. It starts out pretty dark and then goes to this orange.
That's
So
absolutely gorgeous.
I'm super happy with it. And this yarn is soft. And if I remember correctly, I don't think it was expensive. I linked to it in last week's show notes and I'll put it in again. But yeah, I think it's going to be really wearable. So yeah. And I finished, oh my gosh, wait till you see this.
I saw that on Tuesday Zoom.
Just the cutest. It's called the Boatneck Pullover. And it's for our friend had a little baby several weeks early, and she's still in the NICU. So this might even be for next winter, but I did the 0 to 3 months. And it's this yarn that Mimi had in her stash, and it's called Behm. And it's discontinued, but it's very sort of typical of baby yarn. And it's pretty sure it's a DK weight, and it is washable, of course, nylon and acrylic, and it's really soft. So this is from this great book called 60 More Quick Baby Knits. And it's all written for Cascade 220 Sport Superwash. And so everything in here is sport weight, but this is the pattern. And I mean, that is
just so cute.
Yeah. And it's called the Boatneck Pullover by Ann McCauley. And I think it is available on Ravelry as a download if you just want, but this book has super cute baby stuff in it. So some of the books we have, I don't know, the stuff's a little bit, a lot of intarsia, and I'm not a fan of that. Yeah. Okay, I gotta go get my hat because I have to show that. But what have you got on?
So I finished the sweater, the On the Road Pullover sweater, and granddaughter number 3 is so excited. I think she might wear it to work tonight. So
it turned out great.
Isn't that cool?
Yes.
Yeah, and she tried it on, and it fits her perfectly. Which is cool. And it's just got a little bit of color work there.
So cute.
So this is done. So this is On the Road Pullover by Eweknit Toronto was the pattern. It's a pay for pattern. I used Trilogy Sport in Goldendrod. And then this is Beaver, kind of a taupey grayish. And then just a little bit of undyed for the white. But yeah, it was fun. It's almost like doing a fingering weight sweater. My sport is just a skosh heavier than my fingering weight, but yeah, I love it. It turned out great. The length is perfect. And
really, I love those colors.
Isn't that fun? Yeah, isn't this the Pantone color of the year?
Yes, Grello.
Yeah, the gray and the yellow. So I finished that, and I finished a pair of socks. This was my at the trunk show. you can't sit all day and not have something to knit. And I
Right.
feel pretty fortunate. I can knit and walk and talk all at the same time. It's novel.
Yeah.
And so I did these while I was at the trunk show, but this is in my oyster shell colorway.
That is so
So
pretty.
it's just kind of a creamy or silvery color with pops of some grays and blacks and some pinks and dark pinks. So just a vanilla sock, toe up, my usual pattern, toe up. I do them on a US 1. Is that a 2.5, 2.25? I'm going to learn these eventually, the millimeters.
Yeah, I have a cheat sheet here, a little.
Because I want to be really cool and make it sound like I know what I'm talking about.
2.25, yeah.
Okay, so a US 1, 2.25 millimeter, fish lips kiss heel, and then 2x2 rib. Hang it this way. So yeah, so these are and
I
this
love
is out
that
of my,
color. I love how that knit up.
I really like oyster shell. So this is on my plush base, but these are going to be for sample. So I won't wear them for a while. I'll use them.
What do you use the whole skein for a pair that size?
I did not use the whole skein. I use and I could weigh the skein for this because I do mine a little bit shorter. I do the leg just I do kind of a short leg. Just the top of my heel.
Yeah.
I have been known to get a pair like this and then a shorty pair out, just with a rolled. I don't do a rib. I just do like a rolled cuff, and then you can always use a contrasting toe. But yeah, because on my plush base, it's got 450 yards, so there's a lot of yarn in that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, easily you could do 2 shorty pairs without having to do contrasting heels.
Yeah.
So, but
cool.
Yeah, that is all I finished, but felt good to get the sweater done.
Yes.
And for once,
so now really you've got your next granddaughter's sweater.
Yeah, I've got to dye the yarn up for that yet. So this is the first time in a really long time I don't have a sweater on the needles, and I'm okay because I'm finishing some of the whips that we showed our whip parade, and I'll show those when we get to on the needles. But I will probably, well, as soon as I can find time to dye up the yarn, I'm sure by next podcast I'll have her sweater started. Yeah, and that's going to be just a stockinette with this big off the shoulder kind of cowl neck collar and a rib. So pretty simple. Cool. But she probably won't have it for this year. It's hard to say.
Well, it's going to be too warm to wear that anyway, pretty soon.
Yeah. Yeah. So you want to go get your hat? What can I talk about?
Yes, I do want to get you. Yeah. Talk.
Okay. I will talk. How far do you have to go? I don't have much to talk about.
I just have to go to the living room.
Which is odd for me not to have anything to talk about. But I've got some other finished objects that I had sample knitters knit for me. So I'll show those when we get to shop news. So that was kind of fun, sending yarn out and have somebody send back a finished object. Now I know her living room is not that far. Yeah.
I thought it was so organized. Okay, so this I showed you guys that. Oh, no, you have one right here. Okay, so I got this yarn and the pom-pom at one of Nancy's trunk shows. And I was looking for a hat because we go walking every Sunday, well, several times a week, but every Sunday with a bunch of friends, and we were going in like the 20-degree weather. And I have a lot of hats that are kind of lacy and slouchy, and I needed one that was warm in kind of more beanie like. So this is, what is this called? Pleasure Rib by Jodi Brown, one of the grocery girls. And it's so easy. I mean, it's just a cable rib, and it doesn't even have ribbing. It just you do the 2-2 rib and go right into the cable, which I love. And then the pom-pom, of course, is just the best.
So the pom-pom reminds me of years ago when we were at a Grand Yarn. There was a hat and a a scarf pattern that was all the rage. And it was like 3 of those cable patterns. And was it the fisherman scarf?
Yes, it was. Yeah,
Yes.
it's just, I think it's
And
just
the
a
hat looks,
freebie.
yeah, and the hat
Yeah.
looks pretty much like that. It was just a fisherman hat. So it was, yeah, real
Yeah.
fun pattern.
Yeah, I love that. So, yeah, and I think it looks great in this yarn. And this was a one of a kind color, but do you have anything similar? Is this, what would you?
That was a whiskey gone bad.
Oh, okay. So if
So
you wanted to
it's
do something similar, it could be whiskey, which is
Yeah.
a little browner, right?
Whiskey's a little golder, not
Gold,
quite as,
okay. This
not
is
quite
coming
as
off
brown. Yeah.
bright. This is golder. This is a little bit golder. So I can see where the whiskey.
Yeah, but I'm sure I was going for a batch of whiskey, and my formula was
Okay.
off.
And then these pom-poms are from Big Bad Wool, I think. Big Bad Wool.
Mhm.
So I'm really happy with this. So it's gone hiking or walking a couple times and perfect. All right. So on the needles, what have you got going on?
I didn't show you. No, I was finished. Ooh, okay, I'm gonna have more coffee. So I do have a hoe, and I had a hoe last time, same hoe, but I did finally cast on the second sock. So this is KnitPicks Felici, and this is in the present colorway. So I have that one done. And then I have the second one that far. So I'm not quite to the, whoa, that got blown out. So I'm not quite to the heel, but just some mindless knitting. So I have that. This hopefully will be done by next time, because, you know, I can always use socks, not that I need anymore. And then from our whip parade, oh man, it got bright outside. Am I blowing stuff out?
Well, there's at least over here, there's clouds just flat. It's windy.
So I started, no, I didn't start. I picked up the shawl. I'm going to show you a picture. It's the FibreFest 2018 shawl. And so this is the shawl I'm doing. And
so
I
pretty.
am just to, can you see my mouse?
Yep.
I'm almost to here. So I'm almost
Oh.
done. It has this little kind of a lacy detail edging on it. And it's a gorgeous shawl. I don't know why I didn't finish it.
You probably just put it down because you saw something else shiny.
Yeah, squirrel.
Yeah.
So I'm doing that out of my single space, which I absolutely love using for shawl work. Sorry. And so I'm doing
Oh yeah.
so my single space, which is the single ply merino and silk. So it's 70% superwash merino and 30% mulberry silk. So I love it because it has such an awesome drape to it. When you're doing a shawl with a single ply, you don't get that, you don't have the twist in the yarn. And I think it just drapes so much better. And then the silk just gives it that little sheen. So I was hoping to have it done today, but I didn't quite finish it last night at Zoom. So anyway, that's my my 2 projects that I am actively working on. But yeah,
I love your single space too.
I do too. In fact, another shawl that I have that was a languishing whip that I pulled out is also on the single space. And I think I'm just about ready to do a summer tee out of it. I've done one before, but it's such a nice base. So yeah, that's what I've got going. How about you? What's on your needle?
Well, on my needles is not too much. It's I have all of these projects that are not easy knitting projects, and I just do so much knitting with other people and on Zooms and that kind of thing that, or watching TV, that I just don't, I don't feel like I can concentrate well enough to, I might have to release the hounds here. Just a sec. Okay, you guys, come on, come on. Okay. So I'm working on the habitation throw, and it is from your Christmas advent calendar this in 2020. And I started out with the pink, well, oranges, and then I went to pinks, and now then I did like this was all part of the pink, and now I'm into the greens. So I don't know when I'm going to start going down.
So how many minis do you have left?
I
mean, there was 24 in the advent.
Yeah, I'm not using every single one of them. So
you should just count and see how many you've used, and then how many you have left. And when you're halfway, then just start going down.
Yeah, because right now I mean, I think I should go a little further because it would end up
it's not a big blanket anyway. It's just kind of a lap throw, but
yeah. So I'll see. But I love working on this. It's so easy. It's going to be, this transition right here, I just think is so gorgeous.
Yeah.
So I'm really having fun with this lately. And then this is what happens with this blanket with me, is that I get obsessed with it and I don't work on anything else. And that works for me because it's so easy. I can do it anywhere.
Yeah.
But well, let's go into future knitting. Well, do you have anything else on the needles?
No, but back to the habitation throw. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I will be doing another one.
Don't you think it's addicting?
Oh, it's so cool, and it's mindless, yet it keeps your attention because you're changing colors, and then you're doing the eyelet rows, and yeah, I like it.
Yeah,
so,
I love it. Absolutely love it.
So,
and it's so perfect for the advent calendars that don't come with pattern support or whatever. Even if they do, it's great for that.
It's a fun one.
Okay, so I saw on Instagram, I'm going to share it. How do I do that? Here we go. Okay, so this is the Giesel. I might not be saying that right. And it is by Irina Anikiva. And I saw this on the Miss Babs Instagram. And so this is the back and this is the front. And so as soon as I saw it, I mean, I saw the front, I'm like, yeah, whatever, just a cardigan. But then when I saw the back, I was just like, I love that.
Now, is that one pieced or is that done? Flat.
I think I have the pattern. Flat in one piece from the bottom up.
Bottom up. Okay. Yeah, that's a pretty cool looking pattern.
Yeah. And so I found yarn for it. It's sport weight yarn. And let me get this down here so I can go into it. So this is going to be my yarn. It is polka dot sheep.
Oh, out of whitefish.
Yeah, out of whitefish. And it's at Knit Coeur d'Alene. So I ordered it the other day because it takes a lot of yarn. So, and it's sport weight, and most sport weight is superwash, which I'm not a fan of. And this is superwash, but it's also got a nylon component. So hopefully it won't grow too much.
Well, just, be real gentle when you block it.
Yeah. And I was having a hard time finding a color. And what I really wanted was like a dusty pink, but I couldn't find something like that. I didn't want a bright pink. I didn't want,
I know
because it's a big
someone that
sweater.
dyes sport weight yarn.
I know. As soon as I pulled the trigger, I'm like, oh my God, stupid.
I'm sure I owe you yarn.
I don't
That's
think you do, but
okay.
yeah, I know. I was just like, okay, dummy. So anyway, that's going to be cast on, and hopefully I'll get the yarn today and I can work on a gauge swatch.
Fun. That's going to be gorgeous.
Oh,
Yes.
I'm so excited. Let me stop sharing.
Yeah. You know, that might be something that I might have to do.
Well, give me a head start, because if you cast it on, you're going to be done with it.
It would be third in line. I already have a couple sweaters before that.
All right.
So yeah.
And so you have some future knitting that we kind of already talked about, but anything else?
No, that's all I have for future. Huh? Have you got any favorites this week?
I do. Okay, so I have been stocking like Hohi and Co. Hohi Locatelli's gorgeous leather. I love the leather and her bags and everything, but I just haven't been able to pull the trigger because they're really expensive. And I mean, they're super well made, and I'm not saying they're too expensive, but it is an investment. And then there were some bags I saw that were rectangular and just stood open. I think they were made out of canvas, but I just didn't get one of those when I saw it. And so I had seen this little thing on the Coco Knits website, and it is, you buy it in two parts. You buy the bag and then you buy the handles, and the bag is made out of, I don't even know what the fabric is. I think it's some sort of coated, it's almost like fabric-y paper, but you wash it and then it comes like, it's just clean. It's just flat. And I washed it and then wrinkled it up. And so it has this kind of character to it now, but it's a flat, it stays open, flat bottom. It's got all these pockets in it, and then 2 pockets outside.
Wow.
And it's not as, I kind of expected it to be a little taller. It's plenty big, there's a lot of room in here, like my whole shawl and a bunch of stuff can fit in here, but I wish it were
A little deeper,
like 4 inches taller. Yeah. But I mean, for the price,
well, that would be just a darling little purse.
Yeah.
That's what I use for a purse. I have this really cool knitting bag that I just throw my wallet in, and that's what I use for a purse.
Yeah. So I'm happy with this, and I just think I've used it, quite a few times. And it is kind of like I put my project, my phone, my wallet, I had to go to the post office. I put what I had to send in there, and I mean, it was fine.
That is
so, and you could use it for a purse, because they do sell a set of longer handles. So these are the short handles. So yeah. And then I thought, what about you? Do you have some favorites?
Yes, I have a favorite. I subscribe to a monthly like skincare cosmetic line. It's called Ipsy. I don't know if
oh yeah, I've heard of that.
I've heard of it. And so each month when they send you that, you just get little samples of stuff, but they come in these cute little bags. And this month's bag, look at that.
Cute. I love that.
Isn't that not just so amazing? So this is going to be a Notions bag. Right now I have little samples in it. I haven't taken it, but I love the women holding hands, uniting as one.
That is just awesome.
So this is just gave me chills.
Yes, it's so great.
Yeah, so this is my new favorite. So
that is a favorite. It's my favorite too.
Yes.
That's great.
Yes, awesome. How about acquisitions?
Well, that's kind of my acquisition, that bag.
Okay. Well, I have
and then the yarn that's hopefully we'll get here today.
Yeah, I have a favorite, another favorite that was a gift to me. So while I was at the trunk show this weekend, I have met Aaron before, Aaron and Chip from Fiber Hustle. I have met Aaron before. Chip has not apparently left the house since COVID, and
Wow.
Chip came out to see me. I was just
Aw.
like, I was blown away. I felt so honored. And when we were talking last night on our Thursday night, bless you, Thursday night Zoom class,
Thank you.
the people were saying, we got to meet Nancy. And I said, yeah, who'd have thought I even had legs? Because you always just see me sitting. And of course, then they said, well, you are pretty short, which
Well, they're all pretty tall.
they're all
so.
tall.
Even
But
Chip? Is Chip tall?
Chip is taller than me.
So like you say, I mean, you just see him from here
Yeah.
up.
And so Aaron and I got to hug. I mean, I love those guys. But I got a Chip basket.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
Is it so? Chip is a quilter.
so
If you
jealous.
guys
That's
don't watch
gorgeous.
Fiber Hustle, they're out of Bellevue, and Aaron is the knitter and Chip is the quilter. And he was playing around with these, and it was like, Chip, I want one. So I made him a pair of socks. I think I got the better end of the trade. I absolutely love this. Of course, as soon as I got it home, it was like, which cat is going to jump into
Oh,
it first? And sure
right.
enough, and inside were some chocolates, which was
Aw.
after my weekend duly needed. And
Yeah.
look at this little sheep they stuck in there.
That's adorable.
They're cute. So this little guy sits in my office on my shelf. So
Aw.
I have to name him. But yeah, so I absolutely.
Okay, who has good suggestions for a name for that
Yeah,
little sheep?
name out my little
the
white
comments.
sheep. I mean, Ferdinand is kind of a fun name, but yeah, so I have this
That's gorgeous.
amazing Chip basket, and so I'm keeping
Does
my.
he sell those?
No, he.
Oh.
But if you watch Fiber Hustle, and you really need to go watch them, they do bingo games. I think about every 2 months or so, and they talk about them on their podcast, tell you how to sign up. And this last bingo session, which was Valentine's Day, I think he gave away 3 chip
Wow.
baskets for a prize. And so if you watch Ray and Kevin from Needles at the Ready, Ray and I are twinning because Ray has the same basket. So
Did he win? Did Ray win?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we actually last night we're talking about a retreat. We do this virtual knit night Thursday with these amazing people, and we keep talking about a retreat. So if I take my chip basket and Ray brings his chip basket, let's see which one has the better goodies in it. I might accidentally pick up the wrong one. Sorry, Ray, I would get it back to you. But so anyway, it was just like, I was so over the moon excited to meet these guys that came to see me. Like I say, I've met Aaron before, and to have, Chip come out to venture out of his house to bring me my very own chip basket. So
Now
yeah.
I want chips.
You want chips?
You're making me want chips.
Oh, not chip, but chips.
That is so fun.
Yeah.
I want to say jealous, but I wasn't jealous. I was just happy when I saw you guys.
Yeah. So we had pictures taken, and we have our own little chat on Instagram.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So fun.
It was so good. So yeah, favorites and that's not really an acquisition. That was a gift.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Very cool.
Awesome.
Very special. Well, let's talk about our knit along.
Let's talk about this knit along that I've dropped the ball on.
Well, I'm not doing great on it either, but I still have it's until April 15th, so there's still time. And I'm going to share what it is, although we've talked about it quite a bit, but it's the Destination Unknown Shawl by Cheryl Faust, this beautiful slip stitch pattern. And our fabulous,
I hope you guys are sitting down for this.
Yes, our fabulous knit shop owners, Chris from Knit Knit the Studio and Liz from Knit Knit Coeur d'Alene, donated to us, and this is not the actual thing, this is Mimi's, but a set of likey interchangeable needles, and it's the 5-inch set, and Mimi has some things on the needles here, but
You'll get a full set.
you will get a full set, brand new, not used. And so it goes from size 4 up, these look huge, 17, size 4 up to 17. And then it comes with all the things that you need, your cords and your tighteners and all that kind of stuff. And in this really great case. And the fun thing about this case is that you can set it up to enjoy the beauty of these needles. It's got a little Velcro, so you can set it on your desk to admire. And we are just so grateful for the generosity.
That's an amazing
of Chris and
prize,
Liz.
you guys.
Yeah, and I mean, they've just been so much support to us, and we just love them. So this is pretty amazing. And
it's not too late to get.
And so all you need to do is put a picture of your shawl up on the Ravelry page, or tag your pictures in your own social media with destination unknown KAL, and we will use a random number generator and choose a winner. So get your pictures up, people.
Yeah. I just, we picked the 15th because that's tax day, but I think I just heard that they extended tax day another month.
Oh, maybe
So-
we'll have to extend the knit along. I don't know. I gotta check in on that group and see how everybody's doing.
Yeah, because I've seen some finished shawls,
some
but
people
you know what? If this is, well, that's not fair to extend it. I don't know. Never mind.
Well, we'll talk.
We'll see. Yeah.
We'll see how
Yeah.
how it goes. But yeah, so I will put all the information on where to leave your pictures in the show notes below and on our Ravelry group.
And there's kits in the shop.
Yes.
TrilogyYarn.com. There's destination shawl kit
Yeah, really
put together,
nice
or
ones.
you can do your own too. It's
yeah, so, sport weight or fingering weight is what the pattern calls for, I think. Yeah, so that's super exciting. And thanks again to Chris and Liz. We love you guys.
amazing. Thank you. Yes.
Yes. So what about, do you want to go into shop news?
First, we must do the word of the day.
Okay, let's do that.
So I have a word of the day today, and it is somewhere in my notes. Epergne. Epergne, but it's spelled E-P-E-R-G-N-E. And it's a noun, and it's early 18th century, and it's a French word, and it means an ornamental centerpiece for a dining table, typically used for holding fruit.
Oh.
So it's a fruit bowl.
It's a fruit bowl.
Epergne. So yeah, I get these words of the day. Somehow I got, they got my email. So it's kind of fun. Some of the words are really hard to say. But yeah, so that's kind of fun. So that's the word of the day, epergne, or fruit bowl. And I can't relate that to knitting. I try to relate words. I have an epergne full of yarn.
Yeah, there you go. That wasn't that hard.
That's weird. So
everything's full of yarn in my house.
Everything is full of yarn. Yeah. I got out of bed this morning and there was even a rogue ball of yarn on the floor. I have a cat that likes yarn, so I have to try to keep
knitting.
Yeah, the cat was knitting. Yeah.
Iris has been knitting every once in a while. She finds a ball of yarn and tries to knit, and she's just a terrible knitter.
Oh, yeah. So shop news. Lots of stuff in the shop going on right now. We still have the monthly clubs, Pride and Prejudice Club, which is a 3-month subscription based on the movie Pride and Prejudice. And you have your choice of an MC and DK, a worsted, or a fingering weight. So you can choose what base you would like. That will be dyed up next week, and we'll go out next week. So it's not too late to sign up for this month. Like I say, it is a 3-month subscription. It's an ongoing, but not auto renewing. So I try to let you know if it's your 3rd month, and you can do that if you want, renew. And then after that, the end of next week or the first of the following week, I'll be dyeing up the Happy Hour Club colorway. And there again, oh, I should have brought last month's. Oh, well. There again, that is a 3-month subscription. And you have your choice of base, either a plush, which is a plush fingering merino cashmere nylon, the merino cashmere nylon DK, or a worsted. And I always send out the drink recipe. Last month's was the cocoa chata martini that was just to die for. So I always send out a fun recipe for that. And then after that one, couple of days after that, I'll start working on the Princess Bride Sock Club. That one is a glamorous base sock with a 20-gram mini to come with it. And that is based off of the classic movie Princess Bride. So those are the 3 monthly clubs I have going. Christmas in July Advent is still available for pre-orders. That one is 30 20-gram minis, and those will be in a rainbow fade. I've got probably a third of those dyed. The hardest part of that is coming up with the colorways, and then I can just, crank out the minis. But I have about a third of those done up, and rumor has it there will be pattern support. I had a designer reach out to me and would love to do a design for that. And then that'll also come with a full 100-gram skein for July 31st. Probably within the next month or so, I will be putting up Halloween advents and Christmas advents for pre-order. I haven't quite decided what the Halloween advent theme is going to be this year. I have an idea, but if anybody has a great suggestion for one of their favorite Halloween movies, comment below. And yeah, so I've got that going.
Cool.
And what was that?
I said cool.
Oh, cool. And then I had reached out about a month ago or so for some sample knitting because, and I'll talk about trunk shows in a minute, but I don't have time to do all this dyeing and do all my sample knitting. So I wanted to show you some of the sample knits I've received back. And I'm only going to put one sock on, although I did receive a pair. So this is done on my Trailhead colorway. Beautiful. And this is my plush base. So I had a knitter knit this up for me. She did a great job. So that's
so pretty.
Isn't that fun? So that's Trailhead. I have plumage in a sock. So my plumage is my peacock colors. So neat. That is plumage done up in a sock. And yeah, I'm a fish lips kiss. So it's really, I'm enjoying the different heels that are coming. Yeah. And this one is, that Trailhead was a heel flap and gusset. But this is a really nice looking heel. I don't know what it is. I should reach out to the gal.
Oh, I think it's that Eye of Partridge pattern.
Is that what it is?
I think so. Yeah. I think it is.
Yeah. So that's if anyone knows, yeah, for sure, comment down below. And then, of course, llamas in drag, because everybody needs llamas in drag. So here's llamas in drag done up on a sock.
So cute.
Isn't that pretty?
Adorable.
Yeah. And this is
really fun because people can, these are like big swatches of your colors. People can see exactly what they're going to get.
Right. So, I was doing some color swatches, but it's so, if you're doing a sock as opposed to a sweater, as opposed to, a 50 stitch color swatch, it does knit up better or differently.
Yeah.
But yeah. So that's llamas in drag, which
I love it.
So cool. I have this shawl, and when I picked the colors out, I should have gone a little more contrasty. This is a slip stitch cowl, and this is called Forever in Blue Jeans. And I wrote down who this is by. Callie Monster did this. So this is, say just a slip stitch color work shawl. Did I say cowl?
I love those colors.
Isn't that fun? So this
Yeah.
is done in, the brown, of course, is teddy bear. And then the other color is midnight cowboy, which is some browns and tans and blues and stuff. So this
Yeah.
is fun. So forever in blue jeans. I got the hipster light, and this is done out of my I'm Speaking colorway.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. So this is something that our vice president once said. So this is the
Yes.
hipster light.
That's really pretty.
Isn't this fun?
Mm-hmm.
I love having sample knitters because I get
How fun to get that in the
to
mail
enjoy-
too.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like presents. And then I have one more back. I still have a few of them that are out there. And there was no deadline because I'm not that way. This is Dotted Rays by Stephen West.
Oh, wow.
And this is in my Snap, Crackle, Pop colorway.
Okay, that looks great.
So, isn't this fun?
Yes.
So I have this one. And those of you that knit these, you know who you are and you know how much I appreciate it.
Nice.
So this is the Dotted Rays, which is just a fun, and this is the small one because
that's the small one. Oh, wait.
This is the small one. So as
Okay.
I said earlier, I guess I'm not very tall. I thought I was just fine. So yeah, so I've got some sample garments. So trunk shows. So I'm starting to do trunk shows. I had put a call out for people to tell me your favorite yarn store, and I haven't been able to contact them. They've been contacting me setting up trunk shows. So I still have a list of stores I want to contact. Next month in April, I have 3 trunk shows pretty much all at the same time. So I'm working on sending yarn out for those. One of them will be at Twisted U, which is in Garden City, which is a suburb of Boise. So,
yeah.
And that'll be the 2nd and 3rd week of April. So if you're in that area and you've never seen Trilogy Yarns and you want to go squish them and maybe even take some home, I'll be at the Twisted U.
Mimi you're not going to be there, right? You're sending it.
I'm just sending it, yeah, because Mimi
I
will
think
be down
Mimi
there.
might be down there, yeah.
Yeah,
because her mom lives there.
Right, yes. I also have one in Poulsbo, Washington, which is kind of down, I think it's south of Tacoma. It's kind of somewhere around on the Sound. I will not be at that one either. I'll just be sending yarn. And that one will be, it's in April. And I think it's like the 15th, 16th, 17th. I can talk about it more on our next podcast. And then there is a store here in Spokane called Hook and Needle Nook, and they're doing a month-long Meet the Dyer type of a trunk show. So I'll have stuff there. So there'll be 3 places for West Coast people to see my yarns.
Nice.
And then a couple other things, and then I'll be done. So my granddaughter does stitch markers and progress keepers for me. And I've uploaded some new ones to the shop. So I just thought I would show some. So this one is a little M&M.
Oh, cute.
Progress keeper. So we've got those in blue and yellow. I think the red ones are all gone. So we have little M&M progress keepers. And we've got some llamas.
Are they in drag?
They're not in drag. These are llamas. These are not llamas that want to be alpacas.
Okay.
My llamas in drag want to be alpacas. So I have
that's
these
adorable.
fun little, progress keeper. And then we have, there's a gazillion in the shop in different styles. So I just thought I would grab a couple. This one is a little sheep, little blue sheep.
Oh, cute.
Let's see. Get the color. It's kind of got a glare to it.
Is it all like balls of yarn? maybe.
You had to ask me that.
I'm sorry. It looks like it. Let's just say it is.
No, no, it's not. It's just like
Okay.
a blue enamel.
Cute.
And so, yeah, so those are in the shop. And then I'm working on some new spring colorways. So in order to make room, because I think I must have had, I don't know, 100 plus different colorways. It's time to retire some more. So I did upload some colors yesterday on my discounted page. So Titan is one of my discounted colorways. And so these are $20 a skein. And they're in various bases. So it's listed on the website. But I have Titan. I have ballet slipper.
Oh, ballet slipper.
So a ballet slipper is going to be, oops, see if I can get it so it's not blowing out. There's some blues and greens. Happy Accident. Happy Accident was just that. It was a mistake. And I did reproduce it and keep it in the shop for a bit, but Happy Accident. Sorry, not sorry. On sale.
like
so
that
this
one.
is some greens and blues. I like this one too, but you know, it's not a big seller right now. And so
well, it's always nice to have a refresh.
And then Coral Reef, and Coral Reef is just salmons and some blues in it. And those are coming out. Yeah. So
that's
those
a great
are,
one for spring.
Right. And there's a few other colors left. I think I have Buttercream, Rapture, somewhere in time. So a few colors left on my sale page. So if you're on the fence about trying Trilogy yarns, that's a good way to try them without a big, huge investment.
Yeah.
And I think, sad when you have to wear contacts and glasses to see.
Well, that's what happens when you
get old. You
have
can
to
say that.
Okay, yes, that's what happens.
That's what happens when you get old. Yeah. So I can still see the dye, so that's good. So yeah, so that is shop news.
Good. Well, I had some what are we watching, what are we reading things, because last time we forgot to do that. So I have been watching on HBO. I watched the Allen versus Pharaoh documentary, which is both horrifying and really well done. I'm not going to say it's good because the subject matter is awful. But if you're a documentary person like I am, I highly recommend it. It's really, really well done. And then my mom and I were totally cracking up yesterday because she's super into men's basketball. So, okay, so we have Gonzaga here in Spokane. And they are
number
the
one
overall seed.
And I heard that Obama has said Gonzaga is going to win.
Yes.
And then who is that nun, that sister that is, you know, she goes to all the games, and so she's going. She's going, and she has predicted Gonzaga to win all the way. So
Spokane is Gonzaga crazy, and it's super fun. We have season tickets to the women's games, which I think the season tickets are sold out now, and it's really hard to get a game for the men's because that's been sold out forever. And their arena is small, and so I mean it could sell out at double the size, but I think it's 7,000 people or something, and it's great. It's really intimate and loud and fun.
Loud. I've been to the women's games. Yeah.
So the women are a number 5 seed and the men are number 1, and then our Eastern Washington, right just west of us in Cheney,
my alma mater,
go Eagles, and their team is in the tournament. So it's all basketball around here. And so we were like, how are we going to record all these games? Because I think we can record 4 things at once. And hopefully that's all. I don't know. We'll see. So it's going to be March Madness big time here. Hopefully it's not March Sadness, but
I know.
No.
Just one game. They just lose one game. I mean, they Gonzaga hasn't lost a game all year. They came close their last game, but they pulled it out. So I still think, and loser out type of things, you could just be having a bad day.
Yes.
So I still think that kudos to Gonzaga for being number 1.
Oh my gosh, yes. And the women, the Gonzaga women, like they're they won their tournament by, I think, 1 point,
point.
and 5 of their players had food poisoning or
Yeah.
some kind of stomach thing. So that was kind of a miracle. So anyway, that's happening. And I have started it, or I'm in a new series. So I thought I would mention that. It's called, what's the series called? I think it's the Murder at the Museum series. And you know, I love a mystery series. So it's by Jim Eldridge. And I'll put this in the notes.
Is that a book or on TV?
Book.
Book. Oh, okay.
Yeah, sorry. So the first in the series is called Murder at the Fitzwilliam, and it's set like in the 1890s, and it's a couple, or a man and a woman, who are the detectives, and the man was not the lead detective, but a high up detective in the Jack the Ripper thing, in the Jack the Ripper case. So it's all, I love that kind of stuff. So it's the first one's Murder at the Fitzwilliam. I'm at Murder at the Manchester Museum. So it's all set in Britain, and really fun. So I recommend those.
Are you reading or listening?
I'm listening.
Mm-hmm. Is it done with it by a British narrator? So it's sometimes hard to understand, or?
You know what? I can't even think of the narrator, so I must not have any issue with it.
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. I mean, you do have to have a good narrator. It throws you out of the narrative, but yeah. So what about you?
So I was listening to The Wrong Family, and that's by Taryn Fisher. And I was listening to that on my way over to Seattle, and it's a story that takes place at Green Lake. Is it Green Lake Park?
Oh, yeah.
And it had quite the twist to it. So it was a good was it mystery? Not really a mystery, but it was just a good drama story.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I finished that. So I just started yesterday, Drowning Her Sorrows, and that's by Melinda Lee. And so I'm just into it, but it was a book about, it's a book about a gal that they thought committed suicide, but actually she was murdered. So now we're investigating, maybe was it a husband? Was it a coworker type thing? So that's going to be a good little.
That sounds up my alley. Yeah.
Yeah. I hope it has a good twist at the end, Yeah. Because so far I have no idea who could have done it. But like I say, I'm only a couple hours into it.
Right.
And then last night at Zoom, Cody said that he had read a book in like one day. And it's got to be a good, interesting book because he's going for his doctorate of DNP, doctorate nurse practitioner.
Yeah.
Something that's way above my head. And he said 8 Perfect Murders was a good one. So I put that in my wish list. I don't normally listen to books when I'm out dying. I usually just listen to music because I'm not really paying attention. I just like the background. But when I come back into the house to start twisting and labeling and packaging, that's when I put a book in. And then as soon as it gets nice and I find some time to sit on the deck, I like to knit and read. So that's it. And as far as watching, I started watching. I'm not even sure if I know what I did watch on Netflix was Murder Among the Mormons.
Oh yeah, you
Murder Among the Mormons. I think that's just a 3-episode little documentary. And I kind of remember hearing about that. Was that in the 80s? I was a baby in the 80s. Let's just throw that out there.
You were busy. You weren't paying attention to the news.
In the 80s, yeah. I was living life high on the hog then.
Yeah.
So yeah. And then I started watching another one about this guy that confessed to all these murders and he actually didn't do it. And I honestly can't remember the name. It was another documentary. Crazy guy. Crazy.
That's a special kind of crazy. Yeah.
Said he did like 360 murders, but he really didn't. And then they were showing, how he was in Texas, and then he was in Nevada, and then he was up in Illinois, and then he went to Spokane.
Oh, what?
So claimed he did a murder in Spokane.
You know that Green River killer,
Yes.
when they caught him, he lived down the street from a friend of mine where I used to work.
Oh.
And it was one of those things like, oh, he always was really weird, that kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not quite right. So.
Mm-mm.
But yeah, you know what? We didn't even really say anything about liking and subscribing and hitting the bell and making comments. We love to read the comments. So comments on what? Naming the sheep.
Yeah.
And what else did we have? Is that it?
Yeah, we talked about our contests, but we'll have to figure that out.
Yeah, whether we extend that or not, because for those of you that have worked hard to get done.
No, I mean our 20th episode.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, giveaway.
Oh, that contest.
Yes.
Yeah. I thought you meant our
not really a contest, just a giveaway.
A giveaway. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I want to say something with everything that's happened in the last couple of days with the big shooting in Atlanta and everything. Just be kind to one another. If you see something, say something. We don't, we're better than this. We're better than what's happening with the hate against Asians. It's just ridiculous. So,
or any minority,
or
I mean, anybody. You don't have to
just,
be. I mean, there's against everybody, not just minorities.
Yeah, but right now I'm thinking about what's happening with our Asian American community. So, I just want to send love out and support, and let's just be kind to one another. And wear your mask still and stay social distance. There's hope in the future, and we're getting there.
I just heard, I was going to say, I just heard that by I think it was March 30th that people over 60 now in the state of Washington can get their shots. So
yes,
I'm excited for
I'm
excited for my sister because she hasn't gotten hers yet. So then all of us adults will have gotten our shots, and then the kids. So
yeah. Oh, it's great. So great. So take care, everyone. Thank you for joining us, and support your local yarn shop and trilogyyarns.com.
Yes.
And we will see you in a couple weeks.
All right, everybody, stay safe. Bye.
Bye.